Good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Today, we're going to be taking a look at MiniMax Agent. Now, this one right here comes as a direct competitor to Codex and Cloud Cowork, but it comes with some extra features. And I do think that this is a direction that most agents are going to converge to in the future. So if you're building your own agents, a lot of these features are going to be very useful and very good inspiration for your own agents. This one right here is powered by MiniMax M2.7, a model that, while not being as powerful as GPT 5.5 or Opus 4.7, ranks very high on the benchmarks and is available at a discounted price compared to these other two. Now, what we're going to be doing today is, first of all, we're going to be building a website using this MiniMax agent and deploying it to MiniMax Cloud to demo it and showcase it to other people. We're going to be testing the desktop app to do some data analysis. We're going to be seeing the skills and the hub from MiniMax, and just a very quick look at extras such as using Maxclo or Hermes, which are these general full-time agents that you can run with MiniMax directly in their own cloud. And for complete disclosure, this video is sponsored by MiniMax, so shout out to them for their amazing work. They did help with some feedbacks on the demos that I'm going to show you right here. So great shout out to them for the great work that they're doing. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so first of all, what is MiniMax? Very quickly. MiniMax is this AI company based in China that has a lot of different models and a lot of different agentic software, such as the one that I'm going to be showing you today. They have MiniMax M2.7, which is the state-of-the-art open source large language model, which works great. But they also have music generation, video generation, speech generation, and some sort of M2Her, which is a fine-tuned LLM for role-playing, and also some MCP servers that are pretty cool. So we're going to be taking a look at the agent that they have available. In order to take a look at it, you can go right here to their MiniMax website, and inside product, you go to agent, and you're going to get to this website that looks a little bit like ChatGPT. However, it is more similar to what you would expect from Codex in the web than ChatGPT because it does much more than ChatGPT. However, you can also download the desktop app, which is what I'm going to be showing you in the next feature that I showcase right here in this video by clicking right here and going to download app. But for the first part, we're going to be working with this directly on the web. So, all right, now very quickly, let's go over how to use MiniMax to create websites. And this is probably one of the most useful use cases that we have right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go right here to MiniMax, you go to websites, and here you have, of course, some examples of some possible websites that you can build, just prompt examples. Here, we're going to build this one right here. And something very important is that you can switch between max mode and air mode. Max mode is, of course, a little bit more reasoning, and air is faster responses and simpler results. However, for websites, I do recommend that you use max mode, not only because it is more smart, but because it comes with more features for actual editing the website. Let me show you in a moment. So I'm going to send this prompt right here, and let's wait it a little bit for it to finish the whole thing. And there we go. So the website is apparently ready. So let's take a look at it. But before, I want to show you a few things that are pretty useful right here. So if you click right here, you see that you have a bunch of different useful things on the side. And the first thing that I want to show you is the files right here. And this is very important because we're running on the web version of the MiniMax agent, and it actually works great. Here you have the files that were generated with the whole thing if you want to download them and continue working on them with a local agent or something like that. So you have the source, the public, and the dist directories. And actually on this part right here, you can actually continue editing if you want to. So that's also possible. Something else that I want to show you is that right here you have the current process. So you can actually visualize what was built in real time. And if you're working with other kinds of projects, you can also visualize them right here. In this case, it's a website, so you visualize the website right here. But if you were, for example, working with a PDF or something like that, you would also be able to see it right here. Now, something else that I want to show you is the fact that this website is accessible on the internet. So you have this URL right here that if you open it, it takes you to the website, and the website is live. Like, you can just share this URL and share your website with other people. And here we have the full website, Understanding the World, Jara Jara. Looks pretty good to me. We probably need a few further prompting for this to work perfectly, but to me this is a pretty cool design, and the fact that it like basically generated the the Earth animation by itself, that's pretty cool, I would say. There you go. Now something that I want to show you, even more useful than this, is that when you create a website with MiniMax on the max mode right here. So remember, there was the air mode and the max mode. So when you use the max mode, you have a bunch of extra features that you can use right here. So of course you can use subagents, you can use MCP, you have access to other project settings, but most importantly, specifically for websites, website creation, you have this web edit mode. So you can open it, and here you can click on any element and ask your MiniMax to fix that one in particular. So I really like the earth that it did, but I feel like it's a little bit of an overkill, and we can just replace it with an SVG later on. So I'm just going to select it, and I'm going to ask for changes. I'm going to say, replace this world animation with a single SVG with bright lines. It does not have to be this detailed, and make sure that it does not overlap with any other elements of the website. So let's send that over. And as you can see, this references that element in the canvas and then sends over my message. So this is a great way, I would say, to create websites. All right, so the website is done. I mean, this edit that I requested, and you can see right here in the current process that it has been updated with this nice little SVG looking thing. We can also watch it live, as I mentioned before, right here. Looks pretty good. And it looks much better than before for sure. And there we go. Yeah, that's much better. So there you go. Just remember that if you want to use that web edit mode, you're going to have to select the max mode on the MiniMax agent. Otherwise, this tool is not going to be available. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next part. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to use this app to edit files locally. So for example, datasets, Excel files, etc. In this case, I'm going to be using a CSV file, so a dataset, which is right here. It's an e-commerce and sales profit analysis. And we're going to have MiniMax run some data analysis on top of it locally in my computer and have it generate a PDF report. Okay, so the first thing is to download the app just by clicking here, and you download whichever you need. I have already downloaded, so it's right here. And once you have downloaded it and signed up or logged in, you will be greeted with this part right here. And this one right here actually works a little bit like Codex in the sense that it can work on your file system, okay? So what you can do is just go right here and select which file you want to start working with. So in this case, I'm going to say that I want to work inside this folder called Demo Data Analysis, and I am going to put my dataset right there. And here it is. I have downloaded it and put it right here. It's just a CSV. It's very straightforward. And it comes with the product name, the category, the region, the quantity, the sales, and the profit per date. So we're going to have MiniMax generate a nice little report about this. Now, since I have already placed my CSV right here, I can just ask MiniMax to read the CSV file in this directory and analyze it. Identify relevant and interesting plots that we could generate from that data, finally generate the plots and write a PDF report using LaTeX about the findings in this data using the generated plots. Important, if using Python, use UV instead of SystemPython. So let's see how it goes. And there you go, it has finished. Apparently it used 5 tools, ran 7 commands, edited 2 files, viewed 1 file, and thought 16 times. And there you go. So what we're going to do is just open this right here. Let's see, this is the preview viewer. And you can see that it is a complete report. It looks pretty nice. Let's actually download it and take a look at it. So here it is, my report. As you can see, e-commerce sales analysis period from 2022 to 2024. We have a table of contents, an overview with the sales trends. We have cumulative growth, category performance, nice little charts right here. And there you go. That is how you can use this app. And of course, since it has access to your file system, you can use it as Codex, like a regular coding assistant. All right, so now let's take a look at skills. And skills in MiniMax come right here in this nice little marketplace. And if you're not familiar with what skills are, feel free to take a look at this other video, which is a complete crash course on what skills are and how they work with agents, how you can turn your agent into a more powerful assistant capable of following very sophisticated procedural instructions. And I do feel like in the case of MiniMax, they are geared towards a little bit more of non-technical users because you have this nice user interface right here. You can click on them, you can read the description, and then you can add them to your skills. And the one that I want to show you right now is one called Video Story Generator. I just found it and I was playing around with it. It's pretty cool. Basically, it allows you to generate complete video stories from images or text descriptions. So all you have to do is add it to your skills. I actually have already done that. And I actually already tested it right here. I'm not going to run the test again because generating videos can spend quite a few of your credits, and basically just sent it a very broad prompt asking it to generate a short video about a small robot that discovers a magical garden. And in the end, it generated a video that looks a little bit like this one.
Magical light dancing, wonder fills the air. Small robot discovers finding magic within. Soft glow of flowers carrying magic home.
All right, not going to show you the full video. And something that I wanted to show you is that whenever you have your agent build anything, be it your website, a video, have it work with files, etc., usually it is working within a file system, be it your local file system if you're working with the desktop app, or a cloud file system if you're working with the web application. And always you can just click right here and take a look at what was generated. And I feel like this is very useful because agents really need a file system to actually be powerful and productive. This is something that we recently found out. People are realizing when they see how Codex and Claude Code are way more powerful than just using ChatGPT or Claude, for example. And it's the same thing with MiniMax. So here we have our file system. Let me show you real quick. As you can see, it generated the images itself. As you can see, they are right here. And then it merged them together into multiple MP4 videos. And then by the end, we have the final videos, and it also generated the music that we have right here.
Wonder fills the air. Small robot discovers finding magic.
And there you go. That's everything was generated by AI. So beautiful skill that demonstrates that not only is this a regular coding agent with coding capabilities, but it is also connected to video generation, audio generation, and image generation. So that's it for skills. All right, so last but not least, let me show you about the pricing right here. So if I go right here to upgrade, you can see that I have multiple tiers. And notably, there is a free tier that gives you 1,000 free credits when you sign up and 200 credits per day every time that you log in, which is actually more than enough for most kind of workflows. If what you're doing is using this app kind of like a replacement to ChatGPT or to Claude, I think that the free version is probably more than enough for you. Even if you're doing some data analysis or some file system operations like we did right here, I think that this should be enough. However, if you feel that that's a bit short, you can always try this other premium plans right here. And to give you a very quick idea of how much each thing costs, I have right here the history of operation. So for example, the e-commerce platform that we did costed me around 200 tokens, which is actually not a lot for the full website that it generated and the amount of code that it wrote. That being said, there's one particular operation which costed me a lot of tokens, which was the video generation. So if you're generating video every single day, probably this is not the way to go, because just generating that video that I showed you costed me around 2,000 credits. There you go. Again, I would like to thank MiniMax for sponsoring this video and for giving me free credits for me to play with this app. I do think that it is great, and I do think that this is the direction that many agents are going to head towards, because we have multiple business-like tasks that the agent can now perform right here. So for example, website generation, research, even PowerPoint presentation, and the deployment of custom full-time assistants such as Hermes and MaxClo. I might make a new video in the future about OpenClaw and Hermes. Let me know if you would like to see that. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching this video. It has been a pleasure, and let me know if you have any question. Links in the description if you're interested in installing this nice little app right here.